Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Outdoor Looks YouTube channel with your host Scarlett Lockwood. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can display and make your artificial plants look more realistic and more lifelike inside your house. Right, let's get started then. So I would go with a relatively heavy planter like this one here. So you know it's sturdy and very weighty, so it looks a lot more expensive. These are actually from Fleur and Blossom, which is a local company to ourselves, and if you like what you see, there will actually be a chance to purchase these vases, and I will put the link in the description for you to have a browse. So now we've got the vases out, I'm also going to go over to the 3 different decorative aggregates. So you can go with the classic white pebbles, the blue-grey slate chippings, and your standard topsoil. So with that, let's get started. So I'm going to introduce you to our aloe vera babies. This is the smallest one and this is the biggest one. Now when you do receive these plants, they will be very compact, so don't be alarmed. All you'll need to do is just flex the leaves gently like that, wiggle them around, get a bit of movement in there, like so. And as you can see, that has become a lot more alive, very, very realistic. When you touch them as well, they do feel like the actual plant, almost gooey but very solid. So these are actually really, really good replicas. I'm going to leave this one here. Now I'm going to show you this big one. Now this is how I would personally plant these. I would use a big planter, very deep, very sturdy. I got this one from Fleur and Blossom, which I will leave the link to their website in the description below. Let's take this out for a minute. I've actually put some soil in this planter just to create a bit of a platform. This planter was a bit big, a bit too deep, let's say, for the plant. So that's why we thought, let's create a platform so it'll sit a lot better in there. So that's all I've done. You just scoop it out, put it in, get the plant, zhuzh it around a bit so it's nice and sturdy, flex the leaves out until you're happy with the appearance. What I like about this as well, it actually comes with moss, so I feel like I wouldn't want to touch that. I wouldn't want to add any pebbles or anything to it. I really like the look of the moss. In fact, I probably might buy a bit more moss, which it's very cheap online. I think you can get a bag for around £2, £3. So yeah, you can just add a bit more to the plant and like zhuzh it out like that. I love the word zhuzh. So that is our aloe vera. So next up we have our snake plant. Oh, here we go. So again, just like a real snake plant, we do have the very sharp margins on there. So again, a very good replica to the real thing. And the feel is very, very similar as well. Just like the aloe vera, this plant does come with a layer of moss, like that. Personally, I would maybe add a few decorative pebbles to this, and I'm going to choose the white pebbles. So let's just get these. Now, the reason why I've got some water is because when you do buy a decorative aggregate, it is very important that you do wash it because there is a lot of dust, residue, mud. So it is very important that you do wash it, especially if you want that nice clean finish. So I've had these soaking in here for about 10 minutes. But if you just want to have a quick hose, then you can do. But can you see how clean they have come up? And I've not used any soap on that, just water. So I am going to start placing these around the plant. I mean, you can do this anywhere. You can put as many or as little as you want. I would personally recommend that you can see the moss as well, just to give it a bit of a contrast. Now, even though this is an artificial plant, if you do want to give the illusion that it is real without the maintenance, then I would display the plants in an area where the real thing would go. So a snake plant likes a very, very lit up area. So this could be a bathroom, kitchen, living room, anywhere where there is a lot of sunlight. But please remember not to place the real thing, or even this one, in direct sunlight. So I'm just making sure all the pebbles are in place. It doesn't have to be very neat, but obviously you want to make it look as pretty as possible. Now, I think that looks rather lovely, and I could quite see that in my living room, especially with the white pebbles and the moss. I think it complements one another really well. Now, because this is an indoor plant, the UV stability is 0. So it's very, very important that you do not put this on a windowsill or anywhere where direct sunlight hits the leaves, because the colouring will fade. So please ensure you do just put it in a room where it's very, very light, but no windowsills. Right, now it's time to meet our onion plant. Now this comes in 2 variations. We've got variation 1, the zebra, and variation 2, the plain green grass. So, as you can see with these don't actually need anything doing to them in terms of decoration. I think they sit perfectly well in these types of planters. These again are from Fleur and Blossom. It's also worth me mentioning that they're very cost effective. So these planters aren't actually that expensive, but due to them being quite heavy, it creates the feel of them being expensive and very luxurious, which also provides great stability and support for the plants once they're placed inside the pots. No one wants a flimsy planter. When you get these out of the packaging, they might be a bit compacted. So again, don't be alarmed, it's more than normal. Due to these having no flexibility in the leaves, we would recommend a nice shake. So run your fingers through there. I usually start from the bottom and work my way up, just to make sure that none of these have entangled whilst being in the packaging. These will also drop once they've been out of the box for 48 hours, I would recommend. They need to climatise, they need to get some movement going through. They need to feel alive. So let's shush that one a bit. Now, I think these look gorgeous as they are. So like I said before, I wouldn't want to touch these. I'd just put them in a nice planter, sit them maybe in the corner of a conservatory, a living room, a dining area, wherever you feel you need to add a bit of greenery, these would be perfect for. So these are our onion plants. Next up, we have our Monstera plant. This plant is a beast. It's so tall. It's 180 centimeters, and to put that into perspective, I'm only 5'3". It's still taller than me. Now, like the other plants, when this comes out of the packaging, the leaves will be quite compact. So I strongly recommend giving it a good shake. Really shake it as much as possible. You want as much life and character into this as you can. The good thing about this plant as well, just like a Christmas tree, there is wire on the stems. So this enables you to actually flex the leaves any way that you want. So when you're happy with the appearance, that's when you can start to pot it. So I think that looks quite nice. Might be worth me mentioning This plant actually comes with a coir pole, and it's actually real coir as well, so it gives a really nice finish to the plant. I think this is a stunning plant. This would make a great statement in a hallway, entrance, living room, kitchen, even a bathroom. Anywhere where you want a bit of a wow factor, this is the plant for you. So let's go and pot it up. Now, because there's a lot of space between the bottom of the plant and the plant insert, I'm going to add some decorative aggregate to it. Now, again, you can use topsoil, slate chippings, or white pebbles. I'm actually going to use these slate chippings. So I've already cut a template, so all you need is some cardboard, and you simply place the plant onto the cardboard, draw around, and then you're ready to go. So let's cut it. So after you have cut out the template, you then need to cut out a hole, then cut a slit. This will then go around the plant like that to create the platform, which will allow the chippings to sit nicely on it. Okay, so once you're happy with the placement of the ring, you can then start to decorate. So you can use whatever you desire. I'm going to be using the slate chippings, but again, you can either use the topsoil or white pebbles. Just like the white pebbles, it is important to wash the slate just to get rid of any residue and dirt that there may be on there. Let's get our trusty old bucket. And I'm just going to use my hands. I'm simply going to give these a rinse, like that. As you can see, they're coming up a lot cleaner. You just want to start placing them around, like so. I think the slate chippings really complement the plant. You can get these from any hardware store as well, which is local to you. I think I might put a tad bit more in there. With these chippings, it's really important to wash these. And it's not like the white pebbles where you can just give them a quick rinse. I should have left these, I think, for a bit just to sit in the water, but you'll have more time than me. Okay, so make sure there's no cardboard visible. And once you're happy and you've put it in the planter, it's then up to you where you place it within the house. But I'm really, really happy with the result of this. Again, like I said, you can use whatever finish you want. I've gone with slate chippings, which you can find at your nearest hardware store, and I think that has done the job. Now that is a wrap for today's episode, but do stay tuned because part 2 will be being uploaded very soon. That's where we focus more on the outdoor plants, and also I'll be showing you again how to plant and pot them. So see you soon.